I had to confront my own fears and weaknesses, or I could never have defeated you. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
Welcome back to More Force reaction and More Force. So I'm doing another morning stream. I'm on my way to work. I apologize if it's a bit windy this morning. Kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? So we're gonna go ahead and go live, and I wanted to react to like some of the April O'Neil controversy, which if you don't know, you know, Hollywood did it again because they just can't seem to not do it. Which is race swapping a character for no god awful reason. And then if I have enough time, I'm going to react to shoot, what was it? What was the other thing I was going to react to? That'll probably come up. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start the broadcast. Whoops. 18 plus. April O'Neil. Race swap is retarded. Bruh, it's ringing like 5 a.m. and people are blaring their motorcycles out. So here we go. Put a stream count. We'll do 0. It's only 30 minutes. Just make this cross real quick, and we'll start the stream. And yeah, so we'll tell everyone that I'm broadcasting. You know, it's not probably gonna be a lot of people, but I thought that yesterday. We got 12.5 thousand likes, which is insane still. I still can't believe that. Let's see, hashtag VTuber. I think what helped yesterday was that I put the hashtags on the broadcasting. So I'm gonna do that again. I think that definitely helped in pushing out that stream out to everybody. Oh, hashtag TMNT. I think that should do it. Or one more VTuber tag. There's a long one. That should do. There it is. And tweet it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull up this video. We're going to do this reaction from Young Ripper 59, also known as Eric July, also known as Young Ripper, who created the Rippaverse comic, a indie comic that is a true inspiration to anyone that wants to get into the indie comic space, like I am. And if fortune favors me, I'll be doing a stream on that later today. Young Ripper 59. He did like a 9-minute video. I'm gonna react to that, and I'll give my thoughts on the whole race swap, which I hate. Hate it. Oh yeah, it's 2 videos. Alright. So we'll do the first one. If we have enough time, we'll do the second one. Boost that up. Increase volume.
Alright guys, first and foremost, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If I'm talking funny, it is because I am about an hour removed from having just had a root canal done. So this side of my face is like completely numb. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this trailer came out. Now, this is why you should be watching people like yourself. Because I told y'all
Hey
this was
Marigold, how are you?
a year ago. When I saw who was all involved with it, I knew
Just
this was
doing
DOA. I
a
told you this
morning
was
stream
DOA.
on my way to
This is
work,
not funny. Idiot.
and I'm
But a couple
reacting
things that I'm
to
gonna talk about.
this guy, Young Rebel
Obviously,
59.
this is a big part of the
Pause real quick.
conversation right here.
Well, thank you for even joining me here in class. I appreciate it. I'll just say, if you're interested, definitely check out this guy out. He has created his own comic book company, his own comic book. It has been insanely successful. On the campaign, he had made $3.7 million on his comic book, completely owned by him. I bet. I bet. But I'll give my thoughts real quick on April O'Neil. I'm pretty sure he's going to get into it. I hate it when they change a character's race for absolutely no reason. They didn't even, like, this is clearly just some kind of diversity BS that they wanted to put inside the movie. Like, oh, thank you. Like, every iteration of April O'Neil, except for in the very beginning, no, even in the very beginning, she's been a slim, I guess you would say, white woman. And now, in 2023, with their infinite wisdom, they change the race and make her into a short, pudgy black woman. For what reason? I don't know. Just woke bucks, I guess. But woke people don't even necessarily pay for this kind of content. I know I won't. I'll just sit here and laugh at it, but I will not pay for this. Anyways, let's get back into the video.
Here's people saying that this this depiction of April is going to be fat and black. Okay?
Yep.
I don't know if anything's been confirmed as far as the other box ticking, but she's fat and black.
I hope there's not too much wind coming in through the mic. Unfortunately, it's a little windy out here today.
Huge myth. It's been debunked a million times. It's actually one of the big myths alongside the whole X-Men, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, civil rights. That's false too. Debunk that as a receipt. That's what I'm gonna do this video for, because I saw a post. Actually, let me take a little bit of time and pull it up, because there was a post that, of course, appeared. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw me share it. You saw that I did share it, and it's this myth that someone posted, and they posted these depictions right here. This was it right here.
Oh, this. Okay, so I was watching it from Twitter. I'm gonna pause. So there's a myth that, like, people leave it to Twitter to misconstrue or lie about something, but they were trying to say people like me who prefer the old April O'Neil because that's the original. They were saying, like, the old April O'Neil was black. The original was black and she was changed because of racism or whatever kind of BS. That was not the case at all. As I did like a deep dive through it, you've come to find out that she always was of lighter complexion. And in fact, even in the original, the original idea, not the art, mind you, but the original idea, he was probably about to make him Asian, not black. In an alternate universe, there is a black April O'Neil apparently, but that is not the original. And make a cross, but yeah, that is not the original. And in fact, like, from what I've learned, was that the artist essentially modeled April O'Neil based off his wife, who was of lighter complexion but was mixed. But that does not make you black. Don't get me started on that stuff. So that's what he's about to go into right now. I'm quite sure. That's why he's showing this picture.
April's earliest design in the comics was black. That is an objectively false claim. So
Yep.
you will hear people say either that, or they will up and say that she was originally designed to be black.
Nope.
Both of those claims are objectively false.
They are.
I'm going to show you something real quick. We're not going to take a whole lot of time. These are the pictures that they show.
There's a whole
None of these
Twitter
are her
deep
first
dive
depiction,
on their
by the way.
origins of April
So
O'Neil.
this person's being disingenuous, but whatever. This is how she looks, of course, here. Weird depiction, nonetheless. So it's a couple of things. This is a cover from like the 11th issue.
11th.
And this is a white girl with a perm. I know social media, a lot of these cats that are active on social media were born in like the 2000s.
Yeah, a lot of them forgot that in the 80s,
particularly white
every kind of woman was wearing a perm, essentially.
But let's actually talk about the first actual depiction, okay?
It wasn't just a black thing or whatever.
Right here. So
shows the, I would say, shows the inherent racism that they try to say that we people have for criticizing race swapping.
Baxter's in this comic, and he is a black man. So you can see the contrast between both of these characters standing right next to each other.
Yep.
One is actually black and was depicted as black. Ironically enough, he was actually, in his concept art, original concept art, they've talked about this before, he was actually depicted as white, but obviously in the first published issue, which is all
the
that
irony,
matters, he's black. Here. Standing next to April, who is a completely different skin tone because he was originally meant to be black, and if they wanted to make her, I mean, of course they made her boss black, why wouldn't they make her black, if that's what it is they wanted? Nonetheless, you see her in the next issue, it's the same thing. Here she is right now, she is white as all get out. Here's the cover of that book. White as all get out. It's not a secret, it is what it is. And what you will see, if people would be dishonest, you'll see some like
and the only reason why this is an issue because Hollywood, Seth Rogen made it an issue.
Again,
it was never an
first
issue.
Colored version
ever.
That we saw in the trade paperback.
They made it an issue.
White redhead. This is what she is. And Laird himself has confirmed that, as you see right here, as the co-creator of the character of April O'Neil, and as someone who has always imagined her as white and very likely Irish, Scottish, and English ancestry. He was not unsettled with the depictions, but that's what he envisioned her.
Yep.
That's what her first depictions were, and those are just the absolute facts of the matter. That's not an opinion. Now, where this comes from, where this myth comes from, is that April was named after, I believe it was Eastman, Kevin Eastman's girl at the time, and she was mixed. So
Yep.
that's where a lot of people got that information, that she was meant to be that because of that. But it's just a bunch of misquoting, just complete misrepresentation of a lot of that content. Yes, she was named after someone that may have been of that, let's say, mixed race, because she's like light skinned, a very light skinned black woman. I think she's mixed, so probably just as much white she is black. But as far as her actual original creation, she was meant to be white. She was first depicted to be white. She was compared to, you can see her in contrast with another character that was black in the comic. Those are just the facts of the matter. Okay?
Yep.
Now, if there was a thing in terms of what she originally conceptualized, Laird, who was again the co-creator, he thought that April, original like kind of depictions, probably concept art and stuff of that nature, she was supposed to be Asian. Again, doesn't matter because much like Baxter, the first depiction was the first depiction, and that's all that matters, that first publication. People concept art, I mean, I can tell you that with the Root Roach concept art is one thing. First artist depiction and published works is it can be a little different, some tweaks, minor or whatever. So those are the facts of the matter. And really, that's all I wanted to say. I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time. I just knew that this was going to be happening. It happens all the time. These myths start to get out there, and these people who are likely born in the 2000s that are trying to conjure up some stuff, books that they don't own, books that they've never read, and someone just making lies that are just, they run with it. You'll see people saying this goofy stuff. April was not she was not originally conceptualized to be a black woman, and her first depiction was not black. This myth comes from some reinterpretations. Yes, those do exist of her being black per se, but as far as her original conceptual, that's the facts are the facts. I just showed you those.
Yep.
Wherever you're viewing the content, I appreciate you. If you
I'm gonna let his end ad play.
In my comic book company, Rippaverse Comics. Our first book and campaign, ISOM #1, brought in $3.7 million.
Yes, it did.
Of thousands of satisfied
and I have a
customers.
copy.
Visit Rippaverse.com to check out our store and stay up to date with the latest campaigns from one of the hottest new comic book companies. Also, my first big step towards a parallel economy was the development of my personal website, ericdjuly.com. This entirely replaced my Patreon. Now, if you enjoy this content, please consider becoming a member over at the website. We have an ever-expanding list of perks for various membership tiers, a forum, and a phone app. Some of these perks will even benefit you if you're fans of the Rippaverse.
So
anyway,
good.
I appreciate you so much for being a supporter and or customer. I even got a little love for my haters.
Yes, he did. Oh man, he's a great marketer. Like what he does for his haters is incredibly funny. What he calls monetize the haters. He will bring them on and they can voice their opinion. It's usually just like you're usually just angry at him because they feel bad, honestly. And then he demolishes whatever argument they may have tried to have because they're speaking off feeling, not logic. And it's hilarious every time. But I guess I'll give my my opinions on the matter. So I completely despise whenever Hollywood or anyone changes a character who was originally a certain race into another race simply just because they want, I don't know what, they want more black readers or something? Like, nobody can give me, I bet if you ask, nobody, except for diversity and inclusion and all that BS, which diversity and inclusion is, that's okay, whatever, but not at the cost of the story, which typically that is what happens all the time. Like, besides diversity and inclusion, they could not get, I'm pretty sure they could not give me a good reason for why April O'Neil is now a short, pudgy, unattractive black woman. Because that's what she is. Have you seen what she looks like now? It is ridiculous. In fact, if you wanted to take it this way, you could take it that that's more of an insult than the original April O'Neil. Them doing this is more of an insult to so-called black people than the original April O'Neil. If you want to take it that way, which you easily could, just playing their games. This is the kind of economy they want to build, but it is unsustainable. Nobody actually buys into this economy. It's just for head pats, essentially. But head pats don't pay the bills. That is why comic books are failing. That is why people like Ethan Van Sciver, Sciver, like Eric July, like Drunk 3PO, and other artists, like even Anna, that Star Wars girl. That is why these people, with their independent ideas, are thriving. And I hope to join them one day. Well, I say one day, but I think soon. Because I'm going to do a stream, hopefully later today, about my comic book that I'm going to be going on. And I'm talking about what Comicsgate is, really. And the notion or the idea that I should be able to produce a comic without subjecting myself to what society says I must include into my comic. Not that that is recommended or anything, but no, you must put these into your comic. If you don't, well, I guess that makes me a racist. I guess that makes me transphobic. I guess that makes me misogynist. And all these other buzzwords that they just throw onto people like me, like Eric July, like Ethan Van Sciver, like Drunk 3PO, like Anna, that Star Wars girl, like Ricardo Law. Like the list goes on, honestly. Welcome back, Marigold. I was just on like honestly, a mini rant about why I hate whenever they try to race swap a character. Oh, correction. Not when they try to race swap a character. When they do it, and then the only reason for doing it is just for head pats, because nobody's actually paying for this. And when I say nobody, of course there's somebody doing it, but overall, like nobody, like the general masses aren't paying for this. They just aren't. That's why comic books in America are failing and why manga and anime is thriving. The only comics that seems to be doing like even just a little bit well, especially if you have like a concise, small community, is indie comics, I would say. That is Spider-Man and Batman. But that's it, really. Let's see here. I might have a little bit more time. I'll play another video from Young Ripper. This one's called No. April O'Neil was not originally black.
We're not going to take too much time, but I figured I'd do a follow-up video.
Which is what he went into in the last video. And I saw and read through it in a long Twitter thread of everybody showing like the evidence that she was not originally black.
That was going to be completely dead on
Not like
arrival.
what people are
It
trying
is,
to claim
but they saw
nowadays.
this
But you know,
black April, and you had the TikTok.
why would you be honest when it comes to race swapping a character? Why would you do it?
Running with this lie that she was originally created to be black.
What,
that
for
is
integrity?
verifiably false. This is not my opinion. Objectively speaking, that is simply not true. It's one of those things that gain legs well after the fact. Much like the whole X-Men civil rights thing, I talked about this in the previous video, where nobody made that depiction for decades, and then out of nowhere it became a thing. And people will misquote creatives and all that were involved in it, and then they
apologize again for the wind that's probably coming through the mic. Unfortunately, it's very windy this morning, but
you guys can go to, we're going to go through the thread in this video.
For the most part, the only time I have for streaming is early in the morning now, right after work, and on certain days, I can do like a long form stream for like 2 hours, which is what I'm going to do today.
But you can just show it to them in text if that's the way they prefer. It has all the data. It's not that easy, or excuse me, not that difficult to debunk. But
it really wasn't.
I say here, more than likely you've seen screenshots that have either been altered or taken out of context. But let's take it from the top. Here is the appearance. So you're going to see 4 photos here that I shared. The first appearances of her second issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the mid-'80s. Okay.
I wish I could have reacted to it live on reality, but oh well.
It's even double because you can see her standing next to another person who was not meant to be white, at least in this publication. And I'll show you right here. So this is the original depiction of April. She's right here. You can see her.
Yep.
She's standing right next to her boss, who is Baxter, who is a black man. Now, the fact that a lot of the original work was done, let's say in black and white, it's sort of lended these idiots some sort of non-argument, let's say, where they would try to base some of the shading and stuff and how it was done. We'll go over that a little more in a bit. But how it was done, and they would then say, well, this person was black, when it's simply not true. But you can see Baxter being a different color. You can see her hair isn't even among what you guys have been sharing around. I'll show you that in a minute as well. But they had no problem making Baxter black. If they wanted her to be black, they would have made her black. Ironically enough, in the original design, the original concept design of Baxter, he was not black. Doesn't matter, in the first publication, he was. But the argument isn't about Baxter. The argument is about April. Considering that last name, it seems apparently obvious, but it's not. Here, same issue. Standing right next to him, you can see that they're not the same color, okay?
Yep.
Period. That's a white woman. That's a black man. It's really that simple.
It truly is.
This is the next issue. You see her right there. She doesn't have that hair, which people keep sharing around, and you can see this is clear and obvious. A white woman. This is not up for debate. So we have it now.
People on Twitter will swear up and down that she was originally black because they're either lying or being disingenuous, and or they're just that stupid.
There's also the cover of that of the second issue.
Why not both?
See her there, and she's clearly a white woman with brownish reddish hair. Continuing on, this is the first time we saw that comic colored, and you can see that she is. It was in the trade paperback. You can see that she's white, bro. It's not up for dispute. But I already know where you're going with this. You're gonna see people that have been sharing this out as I documented here. This myth wasn't a thing for decades, but you'll often see people refer to her depictions in the 4th issue when she got her hair done. It's a perm. White women wore perms in the 80s. And this is what these TikTokers born in the 2000s don't seem to understand. They see curly looking hair and they're looking, well, she must have been black. That is simply not the case. If you were born in the 80s, you know this. And if you lived through the 80s, you know this. I mean, I guess what, Cher?
Or if you do just a monochrome
of people wore perms. That's just what it was. And this is the 11th issue, and you can see her. This is not altered, right? Not
like if
colored.
You were just to watch old movies back then, you would see that.
And she talks about it in that 4th issue where she says, "Hey, I got a new hairdo," and that's what a lot of people have been sharing out. This also completely debunks this nonsense because you've seen people sharing this around, right? And because it's black and white again, and it's showing a woman with a tan, they're looking at it and they're taking it, well, that means that she must have been black. That is not the case. You can see her in the colored version of the book. That's the actual colored version of the book. I don't know what to tell you. It's a white woman with brownish hair.
Like, bruh.
Those are the facts. Continuing on. I say, has there been versions of April that have been black? Absolutely, yes. But none of them are original, and one of which you guys keep sharing isn't even canon. There was a deal where they were having other guys, other creators that would be part of it, and there was a depiction of April that was black then. But one of the biggest misconceptions of this claim is pertaining to April's race is actually based off of
Young Ripper 59,
right here.
aka Eric July,
people, they will say that she was based
owner of the
because he had a
Ripperverse. Thank you
girlfriend or
very
wife
much,
at the
but I
time.
gotta go. Thank you, Marigold, for being here this morning. I highly appreciate it. I'm just about at my place of work. Going to have to end the stream here. Thank you again for being here, and just final thoughts. Hollywood, how retarded are you? Stop race swapping characters. Nobody that actually pays for your movies is going to go see those movies. I sure as hell will not be watching that movie. Ever. Will not be watching it. It's a waste of time and money. And why would I? But that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Well, remember, when life gets you down, it's about a little more force. I'll be seeing you.